Hey, everybody, listen up. I got mega huge news. Meat Eater Live is heading back out on the road. That's right. Join me and the crew. Clay Newcomb, Cal, Yanni, Spencer's going to be there. Phil the Engineer's going to be there. Meat Eater Live, headed back out. Now, when you get every ticket, okay, every ticket you buy, you get a signed copy of our new Meat Eater Outdoor Cookbook. This tour is celebrating the release of the book. Buy a ticket, get a signed copy, Meat Eater Outdoor Cookbook, wild game recipes for the grill, smoker, camp stove, and campfire, which I'll point out is a $38 value. Here's where we're going to go. April 23rd, the Mesa Arts Center in Mesa, Arizona. April 24, the Balboa Theater in San Diego. April 25, the Grove in Anaheim, California. April 27, the Crest Theater in Sacramento. April 29, the Union in Salt Lake City. April 30, the Egyptian in Boise. May 1, the Wilma Theater in Missoula. May 2, the Bing Crosby Theater in Spokane, Washington. May 4, Revolution Hall in Portland, Oregon. And May 5, the last day of the tour, Pantages Theater in Tacoma, Washington. For tickets and more information, visit the events page at themeateater.com. Hope to see you at the show.
What's happening, all my woods people? This is not your typical Element podcast, but similar to the Nameless podcast that we did. That was a special podcast talking about that film and that event when we released that film. We're going to do that with this film because we're really proud of it and put a lot of hard work into it, and we think the footage just turned out fabulous. So this is a special podcast about the film Hooked. And KC, this film is definitely a showcase of like your mentality, your mind, you know?
Yeah, don't be scared, everyone. It's going to be fine.
You get to look at the depths of KC's mind, but you don't worry, you'll be okay after the end of it.
No, it's good. It was, this is a ton of fun to just go on this hunt and turn it into a film. And I haven't been as involved in the editing process because that's kind of one of your talents. But it's cool to see it all come together.
But you are more involved in it than usual.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it is your whole thought. It's like a conclusive thought about this trip.
Yeah,
you know?
And I guess really the film is more about me. I mean, it's about you and I some too, but like it centers around my concept of like not really understanding turkey hunting in the way that the hunting landscape understands turkey hunting. Mm-hmm. To me, they've always been I'm kind of like a varmint, really.
Oh yeah,
like that's the way I've always kind of treated them. Not that I didn't like them, but it wasn't like I didn't understand the calling in thing and whatever. And I would say that now I do, and I can't wait to get back and do some more of it. And I think that it was cool how our hunts went on this trip to where, like, at first it was like it always was. Like we just happened into a bird, and that didn't work out. That bird didn't die. So it kind of left that taste in your mouth. And then that afternoon, I was able to shoot a bird somewhat like what you see, Primos or whoever doing, and it just got in my blood. And after that, I kind of understood it at that point in time, but I just wanted more, And you and I switched positions. You became shooter. I converted over to cameraman. We're swapping out, and same afternoon.
Yeah, not probably 90 minutes later or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, your bird came in, strutted up for so long. We already kind of talked about that, in the podcast that aired after the hunt, but it was like such a long wait, and we got to just watch this bird strut forever, which is cool because, it's exciting when you see these videos of these birds running in and flogging and everything, but this was just this was such a different kind of fooled, Mm-hmm. He came in and it was like, oh, a single lady. You know what I mean?
I got all the time in the world to strut my stuff over here.
That's exactly right, And so that was awesome. And then my situation was quite a bit different. And if you've watched the film, you'll notice that, it's not really a big part of the film. So what happened was we're sitting there, we kind of have finally calmed down, changed positions. I'm the shooter now, and he's the cameraman. And now we're expecting birds. We're expecting birds coming from a different direction, really. Mm-hmm. And so we're just we finally had calmed down. We're not quite as aware even because we had been sitting there for a while, calm. And all of a sudden I look up and I just see 2 tuxedos with red heads coming, and I'm like, man. I was like, hey, here comes 2 right here, here comes some birds, whatever I said. And so they're 45, 50 yards at this point. I mean, they're already pretty close. I mean, it's just thick brush, cactus and stuff. And so they weren't strutted. They were kind of high head coming in, and they come under this fence, and they're coming towards us, and they see our decoy. And I'm not sure if they I almost feel like they kind of freaked out a little bit.
They got a little wigged. I think they got surprised by it or something.
Yeah, I don't think they saw us. It was I think it was more of they saw the decoy, and they wanted to kind of check it out. They were already coming this way, and then all of a sudden it was just whoa, a turkey, and I didn't know it was there. They kind of
skirted her a little bit.
Yeah, and they started kind of skirting it, and they were looking, and as they came around the brush, they're looking or whatever, and so I'm like, well, they're 35 or a little more maybe, and they're in range, I think, of this shotgun shell that's going to knock the fire out of me. And so turkey loads are the worst. Anyway, so, I put it on. I said, here's the back. I'm shooting the back one. And I really realized how quickly I shot after I said that. I'm glad you were already on the back one. I was like, which one? You're like, I got them both in the frame. So I was like, all right, I'm shooting the back one. And it was just boom. Shoot the back one, it folds up pretty quick, or, starts flopping or whatever, but it's dead. And the other one takes off running 5 steps and then takes to the air. And I'm trying to recover from this massive Magnum turkey load.
Yeah, they knock you around. They really do. You're off target. Yeah. It's not like it just transitions straight over.
Yeah. And so I actually took a shot at this bird, probably at 45 yards in the air, and knock it down. I mean, it goes straight to the ground, and we're celebrate. It just starts to ensue, and we kind of maybe as amateur, somewhat turkey hunters, I probably should. Looking back, I should have taken off running.
Yeah,
at that bird.
Check on that bird,
but we never found that bird. We saw a bunch of feathers where he hit the ground. But apparently took off running fast, and there was no blood or anything. We looked for a while.
Well, we went back and looked at the footage, and he goes down, but he didn't break a wing or anything.
Right.
We don't really know why.
If he wasn't mortally wounded, if it just, whatever, I don't know where it hit him. But if he wasn't mortally wounded, he definitely had the ability to go up and roost in a tree that night. He wasn't going to get eaten by a coyote, So I feel a little bit better about him not just sitting out there dying on the ground, I guess. But
they're tough birds. The other bird you shot was missing a toe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they are, man. But I feel, dude, I've shot, if people only knew how many shotgun shells I've shot in my life, I felt 100% confident in shooting that, ethically, and knock the bird down. We just weren't able to find it. But anyway, to me, that's how you shoot birds, is out of the air. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And not that I won't shoot them off the ground or in the water or whatever else with a shotgun, but I feel really comfortable with a shotgun and shooting things out of the air. So, anyway.
And after, eating turkeys, after you do that, you're like, I want to kill everyone I can.
Yeah, that's.
Right?
That's the mentality we had even before we had eaten the meals that we've eaten now after the trip. Yeah, we were like, let's get as much turkey meat as possible, bring it home. And so, and your wife actually it's her favorite wild game now.
Yeah, she proclaimed to me the other night after eating 2 different turkey meals that were very different. One was just traditional fried turkey strips, and the other one was a Spanish stew kind of thing that was delicious. She says, turkey's my favorite thing that you bring home to eat. I was like, okay, I'm going back.
Yeah, which I think we're going to try to make another trip.
Yeah.
And so that's exciting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway, that's just a small part of the film, but I wanted to tell a story on the podcast since it's a different format. And then we ended up kind of having our fill of turkeys that day, and we took back to the ranch house and did a little cleaning and
well, it's such a pretty evening too.
It was great, dude.
And part of what we do is try to capture this stuff, and you're great at this, like with the photo stuff. Like I would have never really thought about like, hey, let's leave now and go get some shots of these birds and do them justice, and it really did because of the sunset and just how epic of an evening
sunset
it was.
Awesome, man. Dude. And if you follow us on Instagram, then you've seen some of the pictures, and we had some great colors that night in the sunset, and I got one shot that I'm really proud of KC with the bird over the shoulder and everything.
That was a good shot,
Which,
man.
by the way, you had trouble figuring out how to hold the birds.
I did.
You did. That was one thing I noticed that was funny about
My body's a little bit weird, I guess. I don't really know, but just the traditional throw the turkey over the back thing doesn't work. And also part of it, I was trying not to get like blood all over my backpack. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I didn't know if it was just your traps were so big.
I don't know. Just built like I don't know, like a bowling ball on a tee. But anyways.
Well, anyway, so we ate some ceviche that night and cleaned the birds up and got up in time the next morning as opposed to the first morning.
How about that?
And dude, you had a great hunt, man.
Oh, it was cool. And I guess kind of what helped with that is that I guess it was cloudy that next morning, and then it was cold as all get out.
Man.
So I don't know much about turkeys, but from what I understand about animals in general, sometimes when it's really cold, it takes them a little bit while to get moving, especially birds.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have helped us some too. And then the clouds started breaking about sunrise, so it just made for it's like you were literally sitting in a movie that morning. And we were slow to see turkeys. Actually, it was kind of slow morning. We were bird watching, but down in the bottom below us is, that was actually more of a pheasant. But
hey, it's like a big pheasant to me.
That's better turkey. But there's gobbles going off. We could hear hens yelping. There's like a really excited hen down there going, real fast, cutting or whatever. And it was just it was so cool because talk about building anticipation.
Oh my goodness.
You hear turkeys for 30 minutes and just waiting on them, and they don't come, and it's like,
And that's one thing. I feel like the film we weren't quite able to show in the film is the anticipation build because of the slow morning start. So we're just kind of down here in our level of excitement, and then the birds ramp up, and then so does our excitement, right? And then they kind of got quiet, and we were just letting them know we're here. We were not very aggressive with our calling. We were just
or our hunting in general. We knew the turkeys like to be where we were at.
Yeah, it was a travel corridor.
It's not
for
like
sure.
a place where you see people on TV or whatever let's move those birds.
Yeah,
and that's sort of kind of how I used to be. But now I'm let's just wait and let them come.
I mean, especially when as many birds as there are in this place and in the way the terrain works.
Yeah.
And so, then we're sitting there and we've been calling every, 5 or 10 minutes. We've been just letting a little yelp out. Birds start to get quiet. And then it gets crunk really quick.
It did real quick. It was we're sitting here just enjoying the morning, and then I hear something that sounds like a bird flying. And I don't even know if I told you. Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
I think there's a turkey.
Man, it almost sounded like a turkey just flew up here or
and
something.
then, almost as soon as I finished saying that, it was gobble in our ear hole right behind us, and then it's oh my gosh! Yeah, but you got to remain calm physically, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of get at the ready, because we know which direction he's coming. It's a thicket and a ravine kind of right behind us and to the side of us, and there's just this clear pathway for him to walk. So I kind of get readied up, and
I was locked into that camera.
Oh, it was so when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And then all of a sudden, here's this black blob. Black blob,
Robert, right?
Robert, yeah. With that white and red head, just easing on up, man.
And you were you told me I didn't see it for a while before you saw it. Yeah, because it was so far back on the other side of you, I was not able to find it for a second.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like the whole time, for some reason, probably because I played a lot of music, I had a hard time understanding. We had a hard time with our communication of yardage the whole trip.
We did, the
like
whole trip.
50 turned into 15 several times, 15 yards. And so, like, I'd be like, oh, crap, 15 yards. Like, this bird, I can't move, you know.
Yeah.
Then it was at 50 or whatever. But not necessarily this case, but, like, we did have some communication errors for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then it had a little bit of it'll show a little bit in the film, but a little hunter cameraman like issues with the gun barrel in that little scenario. But it kind of almost gives a cool aspect to the film too, though, because you can see the perspective of like the hunter and the turkey, because the barrel's kind of in the bottom, kind of fuzzed out, you know, bokeh out or whatever of the frame, but the bird like works down the whole shotgun barrel pretty much, and then comes out. And it happens. Boom.
Yeah.
And it's like the most fold-up of fold-ups that I've ever shot. Like this bird, I mean, if you watch the film, you saw it. It's in slow-mo. You can see the pattern of my shotgun going through the air. Probably 12 pellets hit this bird's head.
At least.
It's a bunch. None of it hit his body. Well, maybe barely some. But either way, like the bird somewhat reacts to the sound of the shotgun, I guess. But he's dead while reacting. His head folds over and he jumps up in the air and then and then there's just a mushroom of feathers that come up. And while that's happening, the shotgun shell comes out of my gun through the frame. It is just the coolest sequence of events.
Dude, it is awesome, man. Like, somehow we just got really lucky. And that's what, I mean, when you film enough, you're going to have several unlucky things happen where you don't get a deer on film, you know, that you try to shoot or whatever. And then sometimes you're going to have, like, in this case, that's going to happen, and it's going to be epic. Or, like, you know, when we were in British Columbia, I got a black wolf on film, you know. Like, things happen when you've got stuff rolling, you know. So it's just cool. And it's cool to look back at that stuff. You know, I was telling you yesterday that I've gone back several times and watched a lot of the film series from our rutcation and then our second rutcation or whatever it's called, where our late rut series, you know, where we did a series of kind of vlog style films or videos for like day to day of when we're up hunting out of state or whatever, you know, and during hunting deer and stuff. And man, it's like, for my sake, I'm so glad that we do it. You know, like, I just love. Because there are things that I've already forgotten, and I know 10 years from now I will have definitely forgotten. And it's so awesome to have it chronicled and archived so that we can go back and just watch it and relive it and go, oh, yeah, I forgot about, you know, how I had cookies come out my nose because we were laughing so hard, you know, or whatever. Just things like that, you know. Yeah. So I just, it's a lot of work, man. And like that morning, we had so much camera gear, dude. Like, we have a giant lens that we took, the bazooka, and we used a huge camera that's like mostly used for like interview type things and stuff. It's a giant, but it takes epic slow motion film, and that's, you know, we had already killed a couple of birds, and now like our next challenge was to kill one with super slow mo on it, and it just went perfect, 20 yards. Slow-mo in focus, you know, and it's a lot of work, man, to carry all that gear in there. But we were just, when it happens like that, it's just something to kind of be proud of. It's like, you know, when you put a game plan together for whitetail and he comes in and it does what you wanted him to do and you shoot him and everything goes, like, it's just a good feeling moment, man.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome, man. And I hope y'all enjoyed the film because we really enjoyed making it. And if you did like it, be sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we want to keep bringing y'all cool stuff like that, and that will help us do that and give us the encouragement to do that. And if you like the film, especially the film Hooked, go and comment and tell us what you like about it, and tell us what you want to see more of and that sort of thing. And if you think we did a good job, tell us good job, because no matter how cliche the phrase good job sounds, it feels good.
Yeah, dude.
That was a fun film to make, man, and I'm so glad that we did the cinematic style thing, because it really kind of... It does the turkeys and just that time of year justice.
Yeah, it was a good call. That was your idea, actually. Because we had talked about it, and you're like, you know what, man, it would be easy for us to carry cameras around and vlog the whole thing. That would be, and then put it all together as kind of a ho-hum edit, and put it out there, and people would probably like it, and that's fine. But let's try to do this area in this time of year justice with the flowers and the cactus and the birds and the colors and everything, man. So good call on that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Way to capture it all.
Thanks, dude.
The slow-mo shots are pretty epic.
They are, man.
Like, how many times did we watch that?
Oh,
like in pre.
It's like, I don't know, and I know some guys might not understand this, but it's kind of hard for me to watch. But it's also like I can't take my eyes off of it. I mean, and I will rewind it several times just because I'm not necessarily watching the part that's hard to watch. You know what I mean?
I'm not like celebrating the gruesome death of this bird. It's like dude, how cool is it? You can see the shotgun pattern going through the air.
That's what I was like. Because the first bird you killed, we were like, dude, you could see the shotgun pattern. And then I was like, but we have a camera that films twice the slow-mo, twice as slow. So let's do that, you know? And we did. So pretty awesome, man. Well, it is time for me. It's actually not time for me to eat lunch, but I'm getting hungry. But I'm definitely ready to get out of this truck, and so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off there. Any other final comments that you have to make about it? I mean, you came away definitely with a different perspective, I think, of turkey hunting.
So, not to get too cheesy with it, but the title is for real. Like, I am hooked on turkey hunting. Like I told you the other day, like, from here on out, spring turkey will be a part of what I do. And I don't know, and I'm, of course, going to have to travel to do it because we don't have them here at home. Yeah. But I cannot wait to get back out and turkey hunt some more. Yeah.
I mean, the camaraderie, the like less pressure than deer hunting, the ceviche. I mean, and you're not going to have the, some aspects at every turkey camp or whatever, you won't have ceviche and the ability to catch your own, hybrid stripers at every camp. So we were definitely blessed with a good one this year. But speaking of birds, you got an interesting bird there.
I do.
Little pelican beak that KC found yesterday.
Possibly.
That's what we think it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the film. If you haven't, go watch it. Give us a comment. We appreciate those things. And feel free to give us a review on iTunes of the podcast if you're liking what we're doing. We're starting to get ramped up into this summertime thing and loving what's going on right now, man. Good weather, good experiences outdoors.
It's nice, man. It's nice to get a little bit of probably shouldn't say this, but it's kind of nice to get a little bit of that first spring sunburn.
Yeah,
it's like
I got a little bit yesterday.
I know.
Yeah.
Wear your sunscreen, do that thing, but like it's nice to it's like the first real signal, like, hey, things are different now.
That's right, man. It's time to eat
a good summer.
Time to eat some fresh veggies, some fresh turkeys.
I know it, man.
Anyway,
I know it.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go watch the film if you haven't, and we will check back in with you soon. God bless, and remember, this is your element.
Live in it.
Hey everybody, listen up. I got mega huge news. Meat Eater Live is heading back out on the road. That's right. Join me and the crew. Clay Newcomb, Cal, Yanni, Spencer's going to be there. Phil the engineer's going to be there. Meat Eater Live headed back out. Now, when you get every ticket, okay? Every ticket you buy, you get a signed copy of our new Meat Eater Outdoor Cookbook. This tour is celebrating the release of the book. Buy a ticket, get a signed copy, Meat Eater Outdoor Cookbook, wild game recipes for the grill, smoker, camp stove, and campfire, which I'll point out is a $38 value. Here's where we're going to go. April 23rd, the Mesa Arts Center in Mesa, Arizona. April 24, the Balboa Theater in San Diego. April 25, the Grove in Anaheim, California. April 27, the Crest Theater in Sacramento. April 29, the Union in Salt Lake City. April 30, the Egyptian in Boise. May 1, the Wilma Theater in Missoula. May 2, the Bing Crosby Theater in Spokane, Washington. May 4, Revolution Hall in Portland, Oregon. And May 5, the last day of the tour, Pantages Theater in Tacoma, Washington. For tickets and more information, visit the events page at themeateater.com. Hope to see you at the show.